Locally owned and operated, 11 Oaks Farms raises Wagyu beef and heritage breed pork right here in Newville, Pennsylvania. Our low-stress practices and carefully designed diets produce some of the finest meats you will ever experience. We also offer a selection of quality Angus beef, pork, chicken, seasonings, sauces, pantry items, and much more. Shop online at 11oaksfarms.com. Visit us in-store at 34 North Corporation Street in Newville or call 717-360-8249.
It's time for Mechanicsburg High School Wildcat Athletics, presented by 11 Oaks Farms in Newville on GoMechanicsburg.com and now on YouTube. Be sure to subscribe and follow Wildcat Athletics at Go Mechanicsburg on YouTube, available on all smart devices. Wildcat Athletics is presented by 11 Oaks Farms in Newville, Bobby Ray Hall Automotive Group, Charity Kastner RSR Realtors, your neighborhood Chick-fil-A at Shepherdstown Crossing, Lawnscapes Inc., Members First Federal Credit Union, Operation Wildcat, OSS Health, now with 2 locations on the West Shore, Mechanicsburg Area Recreation Department, RBC Wealth Management and the Turnbridge Group, Renewed Hearing Solutions, Sheets, Snappers Bar and Grill, Seth Gardner State Farm, your Harrisburg True Green Lawn Care, Westshire Decks, servicing all of Central PA, the Wildcat Foundation, and Wolf Brewing Company. Now, let's head out to the contest and the Members First Federal Credit Union broadcast booth on GoMechanicsburg.com.
With the call, here's the voice of the Wildcats, Mike Garland.
And good afternoon, Wildcat fans. Thanks for tuning in on GoMechanicsburg.com. Mike Garland and you. Today's game presented by 11 Oaks Farms in Newville. And I'm hanging out in the Members First Federal Credit Union broadcast booth. It is boys varsity volleyball time. The undefeated Mechanicsburg Wildcats, they're 3-0 on the year, also 3-0 in Mid-Penn Keystone play. They are taking on the Cedar Cliff Colts. Cedar Cliff 1-4 overall, 0-3 in Mid-Penn Keystone. And for the Wildcats, off to a great start in 2025. This is the home opener for the Maroon and Steel and head coach Jake Heck's squad. So they're looking to keep those winning ways rolling. A superlative that may be accomplished today, and that's that Nate McDonald, he is 12 digs away from 500. So we'll see how that plays out, and hopefully someone lets us know if and when he gets those 12 digs today. But a nice milestone number on the horizon for senior Nate McDonald. District 3 power rankings. I know it's very early in the season and a lot will happen between now and the end of this regular season. But in AAA, and there's only 2 levels in high school volleyball in District 3. There's AA and there's AAA. In AAA, the boys for Mechanicsburg are ranked 6th. Meanwhile, for Cedar Cliff, they are ranked 30th. So when you have that many schools in the rankings, the argument could be made that maybe there could be some more because there's 35 in AAA and 28 in AA, meaning there is no single A, and then there's no 4A, 5A, or 6A. But regardless, Mechanicsburg off to a great start, and both teams going through the warm-up process. We're about 15 minutes away from starting this one here at the gym. The JV contest went the way of Cedar Cliff 2-0. They won game 2, 25-18 to wrap it up. And that sent these 2 varsity squads onto the hardwood to get ready for this evening's matchup. The home opener for the Wildcats, we're going to take a break, come back with a little bit more pregame after this. Mechanicsburg and Cedar Cliff on GoMechanicsburg.com.
Locally owned and operated, 11 Oaks Farms raises Wagyu beef and heritage breed pork right here in Newville, Pennsylvania. Our low-stress practices and carefully designed diets produce some of the finest meats you will ever experience. We also offer a selection of quality Angus beef, pork, chicken, seasonings, sauces, pantry items, and much more. Shop online at 11oaksfarms.com. Visit us in-store at 34 North Corporation Street in Newville or call 717-360-8249.
Ever wonder where the capital A in Chick-fil-A came from? It started with grade A, top quality chicken. But we believed everything, not just the food, should be grade A. A is for all the little things we do to bring you our best every day.
Hey there, Wildcat fans. It's Mike Garland, voice of Wildcat Athletics. And that map you're looking at and those little blue pin drops, they represent the central Pennsylvania locations of our broadcast partners. From our presenting sponsor, 11 Oaks Farms, to the south and west in Newville, to one of our newest partners, True Green Lawn Care on the East Shore in Middletown, and everywhere in between, these are community-oriented businesses and their dollars are supporting Wildcat Athletics. So in turn, fans, I ask you to support them. Pick up the phone and price their services. Shop in their store locations. Tell them you heard about it during a broadcast of Wildcat Athletics. You can go to GoMechanicsburg.com right now and click on the live stream tab to learn more about each one of these great central Pennsylvania businesses. We thank them for their support, and I encourage you to support them in turn.
Does your property need a little TLC? Call Lawnscapes Inc. of Mechanicsburg today at 717-697-1833 and see how Wes Moret and his team can transform or maintain your residential or commercial property. From hardscapes to yard services of all types, tree and shrub service and more, this locally owned and operated business has you covered. Call today for your free estimate. Lawnscapes Inc. at 717-697-1833. That's 717-697-1833.
We are dedicated to serving our members, associates, and communities because they give us purpose. We know we are stronger when we come together as one. We believe financial literacy is a key tool for personal well-being, economic stability, and a more secure financial future for everyone. And we are committed to providing all with access to financial wellness resources. We strive to deliver unparalleled experiences for our members through every moment and milestone. We are built by will, forged by people, and powered by a proud member experience.
The State Farm Personal Price Plan helps you create an affordable price just for you.
Contact local agent Seth Gardner for your personal price plan today.
This is you. And this is us. Hi, we're True Green. We're the official lawn care treatment provider of the PGA Tour. That means we'll give you a pro-level lawn guaranteed. That's a satisfaction guarantee. That's a price match guarantee. That's a guarantee on top of your guarantee. So you can do less of this and more of this.
A deck where memories are made, barbecues are grilled, and sunsets are savored. But let's face it, not all decks are created equal. Enter Westshire Decks. We're not your average deck builders. Precision is our mantra. We don't just build decks, we craft outdoor living spaces tailored to your dreams. With Westshire Decks, you get seasoned experts who know decks inside and out. So why settle for a deck that's just okay when you can have one that's extraordinary? Westshire Decks, where craftsmanship meets creativity. Give us a call today and come see how we are different.
The Wildcat Foundation is Mechanicsburg Area School District's education foundation. Established in 1998, the foundation raises and distributes funds that support students in education, wellness, cultural awareness, and athletics. The Wildcat Foundation has also awarded hundreds of thousands of dollars in scholarships to support students' higher education. Learn more and donate today at wildcatfoundation.org. Wolf Brewing Company in Mechanicsburg, established in 2021 as a family and pet-friendly social experience, offers food and drink options for the community from the community. Family owned by Wildcat graduates, Wolf Brewing Company is just off South Market Street in the all-new Legacy Park. Stop in before, during, or after the game for food crafted from the freshest local ingredients, plus many award-winning drinks made on site. Wolf Brewing Company, 100 Legacy Park Drive, Suite 400, online at wolfbrewingco.com or call 717-590-7917.
Getting you back to Mechanicsburg Wildcat Athletics. Presented by 11 Oaks Farms in Newville on GoMechanicsburg.com.
Back at the Mechanicsburg High School gym, Mike Garland and you, thanks for tuning in. I'm hanging out in the Members First Federal Credit Union broadcast booth, and today's game is presented by 11 Oaks Farms in Newville. Cedar Cliff and Mechanicsburg, both teams going through their respective warm-up windows just about 9 minutes before we get this one started at the gym. And again, a reminder, the Wildcats playing in their home opener today, coming in with not only a 3-0 overall record, but 3-0 in Mid-Penn Keystone. Meanwhile, for Cedar Cliff, it's a 1-4 mark, 0-3 in the Keystone. The Wildcats opened their season on the 18th at Northern with a clean sweep 3-0 win. Then went on the road to Lower Dauphin and did the same 3-0. Lower Dauphin, a team that has shown some swagger over the last couple of years. And most recently, they went 5 at Palmyra, winning 3-2. So today it's Cedar Cliff coming up in 2 days. On the 3rd, they are home against Hershey. That's going to be another big test. Then on the 8th, it's at Redland. Meanwhile, for the Cedar Cliff Colts, I mentioned that 1-4 start, 0-3 in conference play. They actually opened the year with a sweep 3-0 victory over the West York Bulldogs, but then have dropped 4 in a row. Home against Redland, home against Hershey, at Palmyra, and home against Northern. So a lot of common opponents in play for Cedar Cliff here in the 2025 spring campaign. We'll take a look at the projected starting lineups. First of all, for the visiting Cedar Cliff Colts, head coach is Matt Ubel, assistant coach Matthew Ubel. Starting for the Ubels, number 1, Bennett McNair. Number 7, Parker Livingston. Number 13, Anderson Christie. Number 15, Evan Potvin. Number 21, Anthony Grob. Number 23, Nazar Mosel. Number 24, Jacob Brumbeck. The Colts of Cedar Cliff. Now for the Wildcats, starting for head coach Jake Heck, assistant coaches Paige Bortner, Jake Dorman, Brady Bortner, Nathan Bortner, and Quay San. Well, you've got number 1, Merrick Aiello. He's an outside hitter and a senior. You've got number 4, Samuel Krasegi. He's an outside hitter. He's a senior. You also have senior middle hitter, number 11, Dean Holbrook. Sophomore setter, number 14, Ryan Foose. Senior opposite, number 18, Luke Stockbauer. Senior middle, number 19, Samuel Steele. And senior libero, number 22, Nathan McDonald. And a reminder, McDonald 12 digs away from 500 for his career, a milestone he may accomplish today at the gym. Hopefully someone tells me along the way. Just about 6.5 minutes away from starting this one. We're going to take a break, come back after this on GoMechanicsburg.com.
Locally owned and operated, 11 Oaks Farms raises Wagyu beef and heritage breed pork right here in Newville, Pennsylvania. Our low-stress practices and carefully designed diets produce some of the finest meats you will ever experience. We also offer a selection of quality Angus beef, pork, chicken, seasonings, sauces, pantry items, and much more. Shop online at 11oaksfarms.com. Visit us in-store at 34 North Corporation Street in Newville or call 717-360-8249.
Craig was in the Rockies and had to cut his ski trip short because he was having severe knee pain.
Lauren came in, she was really discouraged. She had tried 3 months of therapy, nothing was working. She really wanted to get back to volleyball.
We found that he had severe arthritis in both knees and his hip.
She needed shoulder arthroscopy with slap and posterior labral repair.
Simultaneous bilateral total knee replacements.
6 months of recovery and Lauren's back, happy as ever.
3 months after his final surgery, Craig sent us pictures of him skiing the Rocky Mountains. And that's what makes our job here at OSS Health so fulfilling.
Operation Wildcat is a nonprofit organization whose mission is to pool the resources in our community to help our school district students, families, and staff members in need. We'll take your new or gently used back-to-school items, bikes, books, clothing, dresses and suits, furniture, Halloween costumes, gifts for the holiday, Christmas tree decorations, pennies, socks, underwear, Thanksgiving food, toothbrushes and toothpaste, and yard sale items. Learn more at OperationWildcat.org and go Wildcats.
Elevate your everyday with the Mechanicsburg Area Recreation Department. Immerse yourself in a world of excitement and discovery. From adrenaline-pumping sports to serene outdoor escapes, we've got your perfect recreation blend. Join us for fitness, family fun, and fantastic experiences. Unleash your inner adventurer. It's time for a thrilling escape. Visit mbgsd.org and click on the Recreation tab, or drop by your office at the Trails and Trees Environmental Center. Mechanicsburg Area Recreation, where every moment is a new adventure.
At Bobby Rahal, it's about doing the right thing, starting with our vision, that clients deserve great service at a fair price. We understand this can only happen with great team members. Doing what's right includes supporting local charities, youth sports, and first responders. It extends to the environment and why we reclaim rainwater for car washes and recycle used oil. We want to thank our loyal clients for recognizing us by voting Bobby Rahal simply the best of Harrisburg for 21 years in a row. Experience the Bobby Rahal difference and find out more at BobbyRahal.com.
The Turnbridge Group at RBC Wealth Management are proud supporters of Mechanicsburg Wildcat Athletics. When you're faced with tough business, personal, and financial decisions, turn to the Turnbridge Group. They specialize in retirement planning and complex financial situations as their team helps you define and attain your goals, all while building a strong and caring relationship with you. Advisors Tim Engel, Jonathan Stow, and Nick Hansen are available for your call today. The Turnbridge Group, part of the community and for the community. Visit them online at turnbridgegroup.com or call 717-724-4225.
I needed a change in my life. I wanted to be closer to my grandchildren. I was not hearing what the kids were saying. I fly hot air balloons and I couldn't hear leaks. It was time to take care of my hearing. As soon as I met Marianne at Renewed Hearing Solutions, she made me feel so comfortable. My life has improved so much since I got hearing aids. It was the best thing I've ever done. I would highly recommend Renewed Hearing Solutions.
Get back in the conversation. Call Renewed Hearing Solutions today.
Are you on the hunt for a new home? Maybe you're a growing family looking to expand your living situation, or you find your current space too large and you're simply looking to downsize. Whatever your needs, contact Charity Kastner, Realtor with RSR Realtors today. Charity knows the local real estate market and she will find the right home for you. Charity Kastner isn't just a Mechanicsburg-based realtor, she's a Mechanicsburg mom. And after all, mother knows best. Just ask her kids. Make the move today by calling Charity Kastner at 717-557-9312 or rsrrealtors.com to find your first or next home sweet home.
Getting you back to Mechanicsburg Wildcat Athletics. Presented by 11 Oaks Farms in Newville on GoMechanicsburg.com.
Back at the Mechanicsburg High School gym, Mike Garland hanging out in the Members First Federal Credit Union broadcast booth. Tonight's game presented by 11 Oaks Farms in Newville. Some Wildcat scores from across the parking lot. Cumberland Valley defeated Mechanicsburg in softball 6-0. And we'll have a softball stream next week on the 9th, I do believe is the date, versus Mifflin County. That'll be our first softball broadcast of the year. And then we'll have a couple of weeks where we don't do anything on air. However, senior recognition dates come fast and furious in early May. So we'll showcase teams on their senior rec days to the best of our abilities. And then if any spring sports teams make the postseason, we will follow them where possible as well. It's certainly been a busy year here in Mechanicsburg with individual and sports team success, lots of postseason berths, and we hope to keep it going here in the spring season. So this will be your view today from the gym using a GoPro camera that we actually got last year. This is the first time we've used it. I figured out a little bit of a trick to plug it in and make it work, and I should apologize to the 14 of you that are watching right now, because I have not called a volleyball match, boys or girls, in, I'm pretty confident, about 2 years. My broadcast partner, Ben Shad, has been handling girls volleyball, and he definitely did all the boys volleyball matches last year. So I apologize in advance. I'm hoping that I can set the bar really low and then just pull my eyes right above it by the time this thing ends. 3-0 Mechanicsburg, 1-4 Cedar Cliff. And the clock on the scoreboard is about to hit 0. I want to thank our GoMechanicsburg.com live stream crew. Josh Brown here to help. I'm so used to Ryan Hartman on the mic, and I just merged the two. And if either one of them heard me say it, they'd probably take me in a corner and beat me up. So we appreciate Josh Brown being here to help out with the score interface at the top of your screen. And we will have the official introduction of the rosters by public address announcer Bud Hostler here in just a few moments. Head coach Jake Heck has the microphone as well, and he is prepping the showcase to 500 digs, which Nate McDonald is on the way to do. And Coach Heck will start on microphone. We'll turn our mic up and see if we can pick up any of his comments.
His 500th dig of his career, which is a big deal for us. We will be keeping track of those digs at the end of the bench by removing a volleyball for every dig that Nate gets. When we get to that 500 dig, make sure we have a big Wildcat cheer for Nate for making this great milestone. Thank you.
So there you have Coach Heck chiming in on that milestone that we have teased as forthcoming. And so Bud Hostler with the microphone. He'll be announcing the rosters and the lineups in just a moment. I'm not sure we're going to be able to pick up his audio. But regardless, the Cats and the Colts will go down that starting lineup one more time. For Mechanicsburg, Merrick Ayalo, Samuel Krasegi, Dean Holbrook, Ryan Foose, Luke Stockbauer, Samuel Steele, and Nate McDonald. The head coach is Jake Heck. For Cedar Cliff, it's Bennett McNair, Parker Livingston, Anderson Christie, Evan Potvin, Anthony Grob, Nazar Mozil, and Jacob Brumbach. Now, the national anthem has played somewhat inadvertently, but I think we're just going to go with it here in the gym. Or not. There's too many digital things happening here. Oh, we're duct tape and bubble gum, folks. Duct tape and bubble gum. So many digital items. They're all buttons, and you press this and you press that, and things happen. But kudos to everyone here in the gym. They stood up on cue. And we're getting through our sportsmanship announcement. The officials are ready. The players are as well. And we'll take one last commercial break before we start this one off. Mechanicsburg, Cedar Cliff, back in a moment on GoMechanicsburg.com.
Locally owned and operated, 11 Oaks Farms raises Wagyu beef and heritage breed pork right here in Newville, Pennsylvania. Our low-stress practices and carefully designed diets produce some of the finest meats you will ever experience. We also offer a selection of quality Angus beef, pork, chicken, seasonings, sauces, pantry items, and much more. Shop online at 11oaksfarms.com. Visit us in-store at 34 North Corporation Street in Newville or call 717-360-8249.
So I stopped in at Chick-fil-A for lunch and saw Officer Wilson come in. I decided to place a dine-in mobile order and have a cookie delivered to him just to show appreciation for his service for our community.
A few minutes later, I noticed that Officer Wilson had gotten up and left, and I knew he hadn't gotten his cookie yet.
I'm headed to my car. I turn around and I see Allie, and she's running after me.
Mr. Police Officer, Mr. Police Officer.
Usually when someone yells, officer, officer, they want to ask me about a ticket they got. I absolutely wanted the cookie. This cookie is delicious.
Hey there, Wildcat fans. It's Mike Garland, voice of Wildcat Athletics. And that map you're looking at and those little blue pin drops, they represent the central Pennsylvania locations of our broadcast partners. From our presenting sponsor, 11 Oaks Farms, to the south and west in Newville, to one of our newest partners, True Green Lawn Care on the East Shore in Middletown, and everywhere in between. These are community-oriented businesses, and their dollars are supporting Wildcat Athletics. So in turn, fans, I ask you to support them. Pick up the phone and price their services. Shop in their store locations. Tell them you heard about it during a broadcast of Wildcat Athletics. You can go to GoMechanicsburg.com right now and click on the live stream tab to learn more about each one of these great central Pennsylvania businesses. We thank them for their support, and I encourage you to support them in turn.
Does your property need a little TLC? Call Lawnscapes Inc. of Mechanicsburg today at 717-697-1833 and see how Wes Moret and his team can transform or maintain your residential or commercial property. From hardscapes to yard services of all types, tree and shrub service and more, this locally owned and operated business has you covered. Call today for your free estimate. Lawnscapes Inc. at 717-697-1833. That's 717-697-1833.
We are dedicated to serving our members, associates, and communities because they give us purpose. We know we are stronger when we come together as one. We believe financial literacy is a key tool for personal well-being, economic stability, and a more secure financial future for everyone. And we are committed to providing all with access to financial wellness resources. We strive to deliver unparalleled experiences for our members through every moment and milestone. We are built by will, forged by people, and powered by a proud member experience.
Getting you back to Mechanicsburg Wildcat Athletics. Presented by 11 Oaks Farms in Newville on GoMechanicsburg.com.
And a few minutes later than planned, we're getting ready to get this one underway at the Mechanicsburg High School gym. Cedar Cliff and Mechanicsburg. It's the home opener for the Wildcats. Undefeated 3-0 on the season, 3-0 in Mid-Penn Keystone play, and for Cedar Cliff, a 1-4 record, 0-3 in Mid-Penn Keystone play. Wildcat Athletics would like to thank Mechanicsburg Area Recreation Department for their ongoing support of our web streams. The department offers a variety of activities from crafts and dance to fitness and family fun. It provides a little bit of something for everybody. Visit mbgsd.org and click on the Recreation tab or stop by their office at the Trails and Trees Environmental Center to explore all that they have to offer. Cedar Cliff and Mechanicsburg, the Colts in blue shorts, blue tops with gold and white trim. You've got the numbers on the back. Cedar Cliff arched between the shoulder blades and a singular brand on the front. That is just the player's uniform number. For Mechanicsburg, maroon tops with some steel and white accents on the shoulders, black shorts. You have the number on the chest and, of course, the back, and Wildcats between the shoulder blades for these young men. The Wildcat uniforms have some Under Armour branding. And we are ready to roll. 12 digs away is Nate McDonald from 500. And it looks like Cedar Cliff is going to be serving first. At least that's where the muscular Parker Livingston is standing. So he will serve first. You can see just to the right of your screen. So Livingston gets ready, and that serve over the net, played in the back row by the Cats, set up, attack, and kill. That was Dean Holbrook with the smash up front for the Wildcats, and the Cats will now have serve, leading 1-0. We play to 25. You must win by 2, and it's best 3 out of 5 at the varsity level. Serving for Mechanicsburg, Luke Stockbauer, a 5'10 senior. Tapped over the net for Cedar Cliff by Anthony Grob. Kept alive by the Cats. The attack up front from Merrick Ayalo. And it goes out of bounds off the fingertips of a Cedar Cliff front linesman. And that's going to be a point for the Cats now. 2-0 Mechanicsburg leads in set number 1. Stockbauer serving. Stockbauer with the running jump serve coming into screen. Gets it to the back row. It's set up by Parker Livingston over the net. In the back row, Stockbauer one more time. Set up for the Cats by Foose. The attack over is played by the Colts. Now tipped over for Anthony Grob, and it will drop out of play just in front of Coach Jake Heck. Another point for the Cats. 3-0 is the score. And Luke Stockbauer will remain as the primary serviceman for the Cats. Parker Livingston sets it up. And we have a whistle that will give Cedar Cliff a point. So the Colts get the ball back, and serving for head coach Matt Ubel is Jacob Brumback. Brumback standing in the basketball paint. A big running jump serve played in the back row by Krasegi. The attack up front by Dean Holbrook goes off the front line defense of Cedar Cliff and out of bounds. So it's not only a Mechanicsburg serve, but a Mechanicsburg point as well. Curtis Olson checks in for the Colts, and taking a seat is Jacob Brumback. Serving for Mechanicsburg is Merrick Ayalo. His serve played in the back row, set up by Parker Livingston. The attack, the point, and the kill for the Cedar Cliff Colts. High fives all around for Evan Potvin as he heads off the court. Dropping back to serve, Bennett McNair. McNair with pink sneakers, white shirt. And the serve, played in the back row for the Cats by Nate McDonald. The attack is over by Krasegi. Kept alive for the Colts. McNair gets it over. And a dig in the back row, Ayalo. Set up by the Cats, and Foose still alive, tipped over, but out of play. And the Colts were the last to touch it, so it's going to be a point for the Wildcats and serve. Sam Steele in, And out for Mechanicsburg is McDonald. Served over by Dean Holbrook. Kept alive by Parker Livingston. It's up towards the ceiling. Tipped in the air by Foose. And we had a whistle, I believe, before the attack. And the violation is called against Cedar Cliff, so Mechanicsburg maintains the possession and will be serving, leading 6-2. And another serve for the Cats and Dean Holbrook. Livingston gets it over. Played in the back row, set up by the Cats and Foose. The attack and the kill. So the Cats expand the lead to 7-2. And a timeout has been taken by Cedar Cliff. With that timeout, we will step out real quick as well. Mechanicsburg 7, Cedar Cliff 2. We're going to take a quick break. Be right back after this on GoMechanicsburg.com.
Operation Wildcat is a nonprofit organization whose mission is to pool the resources in our community to help our school district students, families, and staff members in need. We'll take your new or gently used back-to-school items, bikes, books, clothing, dresses and suits, furniture, Halloween costumes, gifts for the holiday, Christmas tree decorations, pennies, socks, underwear, Thanksgiving food, toothbrushes and toothpaste, and yard sale items. Learn more at OperationWildcat.org and go Wildcats.
Getting you back to Mechanicsburg Wildcat Athletics. Presented by 11 Oaks Farms in Newville on GoMechanicsburg.com.
Following the Cedar Cliff timeout, the Cats will serve leading by 5 in game number 1. And that's served by Holbrook over the net. And it's tipped for Cedar Cliff by Nazar Mozil, but into the net. So the Cats will maintain the possession, pick up another point, and hold serve. Holbrook coming into screen, jump serve over the net. Livingston can't tip it over, so it's a service ace for Holbrook. Dean Holbrook looking at playing at the next level, 6'5" middle. He's a senior. Certainly opportunities for someone with that height and skill set. And the blue sneakers fly through the air as that ball hits the ceiling. Kept alive by Bennett McNair, set up by Livingston, pushed over the net. Set up, attack, and kill. That's Sam Steele with the kill. Ryan Foose had the set. And subsequent assist for the Wildcats. 10-2, we play to 25. You must win by 2. And, of course, best 3 out of 5 takes the cake. Holbrook, his serve, dug back over the net. The attack by Kusegi. And it's going to ultimately fall short. Cedar Cliff picks up the point. 10-3. Serve for the Cats as Nate McDonald checks in. I should say sub for the Cats as Nate McDonald checks in. Serving for Cedar Cliff. Off the back row is Colton Ruby. That one may have clipped the ceiling a little bit, and that attack by Krasegi goes just a little bit long. Try to take another look at it real quick if we can. And we'll see the play, we'll see the dig, the set, and there's where it hit the ceiling. Here comes the attack, which goes just a little bit long, and we'll come back to live action here in just a moment. So the attack for Cedar Cliff ultimately drops in for an ace, and a nice job by Colton Ruby on that ace. So the Colts will retain possession. Ruby's serve. Set up. That one falls in. Krasegi with the attack and the kill. A little authority on that one. So Cedar Cliff got a couple of points back, but Mechanicsburg has possession one more time as Ryan Foose will retreat to the basketball baseline and serve it on up. Foose, a little bit of a soft serve over the net. Tipped up by Ruby. A little backward pass over the net from the front line for Cedar Cliff. The attack and the kill by way of Luke Stockbauer. There are a lot of young men on this Mechanicsburg volleyball roster. The bench is full, and there's even more kids sitting in the bleachers. So Coach Heck has some depth. That serve played and attacked over by Dustin Stewart. McDonald with the set, and the ball hits the official's chair, who at least is owning that he's not sure what that call should be. And he gets some help from the floor official. You know, while the people that oversee officials probably never want to see their official not know what to do in the moment, his reaction, I think, is what they would want to see, and that's that you defer to a senior official, you ask for help, and you get an answer. That shot went long. It's going to be a point for the Cats. A couple of the softball players coming in to check out this contest. And that ball nearly falls in for an ace, but it's tipped over by Dustin Stewart and falls in for a Cedar Cliff point. 13-7 on GoMechanicsburg.com. Wildcat Foundation accepting applications for scholarships to be awarded to senior students in the district. The foundation administers 5 scholarships to be awarded each spring, totaling more than $43,000. The deadline is coming up on April 9th. Learn more at wildcatfoundation.org. Tipped over by the Cats, kept alive by Cedar Cliff and Jacob Brumbach. Now over the net. There's a dig for Nathan McDonald. The attack up front for Merrick Ayalo. And it's going to be a Wildcat point, 14-7. Substitution for the Cats. Checking in is Dean Holbrook. And heading to the bench is Sam Steele. McDonald with the serve. Set up front by Colton Ruby. The attack into the net by Jacob Brumbach is blocked back onto the Cedar Cliff side. And that attack attempt from the back row. And Cedar Cliff's Nazar Mosiel goes long. So it's going to be another point for the Cats. 15-7. We're working our way towards 25 on GoMechanicsburg.com. Next web stream coming up next week. I believe April 9th. Softball versus Mifflin County. And the McDonald serve goes just a little long, so point Cedar Cliff. 15-8 is the score. Anthony Grob checks in for Cedar Cliff. And Parker Livingston will serve. So Livingston started this one with service and will continue on the second rotation around. McDonald with the dig. And it's blocked up front, tipped out of bounds, point Wildcats. So Nate McDonald has picked up a couple of digs here. Needed 12. Well on the way. 16-8. Cats up by 8, and that serve into the net. So a point for the Colts and another opportunity to serve as Jacob Brumbach will take possession and step back into the paint. Brumbach's jump serve played by McDonald. The attack is out of bounds. Merrick Ayalo hit it just a little wide, and it's going to be another point for the Colts as they are inching back into this one, 16-10. It was 14-7 at one point. Brumbach serve, dug by Ayalo, set up and attacked over by Holbrook, and it will fall in for a point. So Dean Holbrook scores a point for the Cats. Some late arriving fans into the gym. A nice turnout for this volleyball match between these two squads. So good fan and community support. 17-10. Ayalo serving for the Cats. He gets it over. Livingston sets it up. And the attack kept alive by the Cats. It's going to hit the ceiling. They need to get it over. McDonald does so. Played by McNair. That one at the net, and it's going to drop in. So the point goes to Cedar Cliff as Nazar Mosiel gets the attack of the point. Bennett McNair will retreat into the paint and back towards the baseline, getting ready to serve. The youthful McNair jump serve goes wide. It went cross court from one corner to the next and out of play. 18-11. Cats are 7 points away from wrapping this one up. And the dig in the back row. Livingston keeps it alive. Pushed over the net by Mosiel. Set up for the Cats, Foose. And the attack with authority from the back row and a kill, Luke Stockbauer. Serving for the Cats is Dean Holbrook. 19-11, Holbrook serve. Played in the back row by McNair. Livingston gets a touch but draws the whistle. So another point for the Cats will bump it to 20-11. 5 points away from winning set number one. And the serve from Holbrook catches the net, and it's going to drop on the Wildcat side for a Cedar Cliff point. Couple of substitutions for Cedar Cliff. Checking in is Dustin Stewart. Also checking in, Colton Ruby, and Ruby will retreat to serve from near baseline. Been a couple of weeks since we broadcast a basketball game in here, but I'll continue to refer to the pieces of the court accordingly. The attack and kill with authority. That was Sam Krasegi. And he brought the power. That's the equivalent, speaking of basketball, of a Josh Smith dunk here in the gym. That kind of authority. 21-12 following that attack and kill. Foose serves. Set up by Ruby. And that ball is blocked at the net. But it drops on the Cedar Cliff side, so it's going to be a point for the Colts. And a substitution as Jacob Brumbach checks in. And the serve by Grob, played by the Cats, shuffled over by Krasegi. Serve and a whistle. And that's going to be a point for the Cats on the Cedar Cliff violation. Krasegi to serve. Cats need 3 to wrap this one up. That one is, to say that was long is an understatement. Had the door been open, it would have kept going. So Krasegi will want to rein in that cannon next time around. And serving is Anderson Christie. Played in the back row by the Cats. And that attack is blocked up front, but set up by Foose. And Ayalo pushes it over, nearly caught the ceiling. And that attempt on the far side of the floor by Dustin Stewart catches the net and the antenna. It's going to drop back on the Cedar Cliff side for a point Cats. 23-14 as McDonald will serve. McDonald gets it over, played by Bennett McNair. Set up by Colton Ruby, and that one nearly took out an assistant coach on the bench. I know these things are filled with air and there's some give upon impact, but it still hurts when you get hit with a ball at any sort of rate of speed. 24-14, Cats playing for the first set. And there it is. The attack and the kill from Dean Holbrook, and the Cats lead 1-0. We're going to take a break, come back with game number 2 after this on GoMechanicsburg.com.
Craig was in the Rockies and had to cut his ski trip short because he was having severe knee pain.
Lauren came in. She was really discouraged. She had tried 3 months of therapy. Nothing was working. She really wanted to get back to volleyball.
We found that he had severe arthritis in both knees and his hip.
She needed shoulder arthroscopy with slap and posterior labral repair.
Simultaneous bilateral total knee replacements.
6 months of recovery, and Lauren's back, happy as ever.
3 months after his final surgery, Craig sent us pictures of him skiing the Rocky Mountains. And that's what makes our job here at OSS Health so fulfilling.
At Bobby Ray Hall, it's about doing the right thing, starting with our vision that clients deserve great service at a fair price. We understand this can only happen with great team members. Doing what's right includes supporting local charities, youth sports, and first responders. It extends to the environment and why we reclaim rainwater for car washes and recycle used oil. We want to thank our loyal clients for recognizing us by voting Bobby Ray Hall simply the best of Harrisburg for 21 years in a row. Experience the Bobby Ray Hall difference and find out more at BobbyRayHall.com.
The Turnbridge Group at RBC Wealth Management are proud supporters of Mechanicsburg Wildcat Athletics. When you're faced with tough business, personal, and financial decisions, turn to the Turnbridge Group. They specialize in retirement planning and complex financial situations as their team helps you define and attain your goals, all while building a strong and caring relationship with you. Advisors Tim Engel, Jonathan Stow, and Nick Hansen are available for your call today. The Turnbridge Group, part of the community and for the community. Visit them online at turnbridgegroup.com or call 717-724-4225.
I needed a change in my life. I wanted to be closer to my grandchildren. I was not hearing what the kids were saying. I fly hot air balloons and I couldn't hear leaks. There was time to take care of my hearing. As soon as I met Mary Ann at Renewed Hearing Solutions, she made me feel so comfortable. My life has improved so much since I got hearing aids. It was the best thing I've ever done. I would highly recommend Renewed Hearing Solutions.
Get back in the conversation. Call Renewed Hearing Solutions today.
Getting you back to Mechanicsburg Wildcat Athletics. Presented by 11 Oaks Farms in Newville on GoMechanicsburg.com.
Back at the Mechanicsburg High School gym and the ever-comfortable Members First Federal Credit Union broadcast booth. Today's game presented by 11 Oaks Farms in Newville, Cedar Cliff, and Mechanicsburg. And the Cats are leading 1-0 after 25-14 victory in set number 1. So both teams were back on the floor with more than a minute left on the in-between set clock, but we're running those final 30 seconds down as each coach has some last-minute conversations with their respective players. On your right, head coach Matt Ubel from Cedar Cliff chatting things up with Bennett McNair, and on your left, head coach Jake Heck talking with a trio of Wildcats, including Nate McDonald, Sam Steele, and Luke Stockbauer. So the clock stops, and we are ready to roll, Mechanicsburg and Cedar Cliff. Check out GoMechanicsburg.com for the latest in Wildcat scores, schedules, and more, and follow the Cats on X, formerly Twitter, at GoMechanicsburg for results and updated athletic information. The officials have conferred they are ready to go as well. The eligible 6 are on the floor, and we are getting ready to play. The first set went about 25 minutes, give or take. We started at about 6:15. And we are getting ready to get this one going one more time. Nate McDonald, a couple of digs in set number 1. He needed 12 to get to 500. He picked up a few, and he will serve to start set number 2. So everybody has their pieces in place here, and we are ready to go. McDonald with the serve. Played in the back row, set up by Parker Livingston. The attack up front by Evan Potvin was blocked and goes out of bounds. So a point for the Cats, up 1-0 in set number 2. McDonald will serve one more time. And the serve, played in the back row, up in the air. Livingston with the set. The attack from Dustin Stewart, dug by McDonald. Set up for the Cats by Foose. The attack by Stockbauer hits the far side corner in play. So another point for the Cats. 2-0 Mechanicsburg. McDonald receives the ball one more time. That one played from the back row. Livingston sets it up. The attack is going to fall in. That's a point for the Colts and Jacob Brungbach. So 2-1. Cats scored the first 2. The Colts with the most recent point and a substitution. Checking in for the yellow and blue is Curtis Olson. And Olson will be serving. That one over the net, set up by Foose. The attack by Ayalo is out for a Colt point. So we are tied. And other than the games being tied 0-0 to start, this is actually as close as Cedar Cliff has been through one set plus. That one Looked like it might have hit the line. And they are going to say that it did hit the line for a Cedar Cliff point as head coach Jake Heck takes his time to go pick up the ball. So Cedar Cliff point should be 3-2. Scoreboard will update momentarily as one of the JV players pushes the buttons accordingly. The Colts leading. Set up by Foose. The attack for the Cats by Holbrook. Played in the back row by Olsen. Back over the net. It's dug by Krusegi. The attack and the kill, Dean Holbrook. He brought the power and slammed it down within the right paw of the MCAT logo. Luckily, the ball avoided the claws. Otherwise, it might have gone flat. 3-3. Cats have tied it up and, more importantly, have possession with an opportunity to score some more points. Dug in the back row, Bennett McNair. The setup and the attack, Anthony Grob. And it's going to be a Wildcat point as that one fell back onto the Cedar Cliff side and rolled away from the Colt defenders. 4-3 on GoMechanicsburg.com. The serve from Stockbauer. Set up by Parker Livingston. The attack and the kill. Another point for the Colts, and we are tied at 4. Check that. 5. Well, scoreboard says tied at 4. Our scoreboard says 5-3. We'll have to figure that out or I'll be utterly confused. Set up by Foose. The attack by Ayalo. Push back over the net. McDonald with the dig. Ayalo two hands it over, and it's going to drop in for a Wildcat point. So the scoreboard now says 5-4 Cats. That's where we are. We're all in agreement. Kumbaya. It's all right. It's hard to get good help these days. It's also hard to get a good broadcaster that knows what he's talking about. Ryan Foose sets it up, the attack, and it goes just a little long. Dean Holbrook had that touch, and it just sailed wide. So a substitution for the Colts as Colton Ruby comes in and Dustin Stewart comes out. And we are 5s across the board. Johnny 5 is alive as Nathan McDonald digs it for the Cats. The attack by Kusegi. Kept alive, played by Anderson Christie. Back onto the other side, and an attack and kill for the Cats and Ryan Foose. 6-5, Cats up 1. So McDonald heads to the bench. Dean Holbrook will serve for the Cats. Holbrook, Ayalo, Stockbauer, Foose, Kusegi. And also on the floor for the Cats is Sam Steele. That attack attempt goes a little long. And we are tied at 6. Serving for the Colts will be Nazar Mozil. So Mozil readies, spins the ball, jump serve. Played in the back by Krusegi. The attack falls in for a point. Sam Krusegi has the point for Mechanicsburg, and it's 7-6 on GoMechanicsburg.com. I want to thank the athletic staff here at Mechanicsburg for getting things set up for us. Always nice to show up, and the table is here. It's waiting for me. So we appreciate what the staff does for our live stream crew here in Mechanicsburg. Kept alive, and that's going to be a point for Cedar Cliff. You only get 3 touches to get it over the net. That fourth one becomes a dead ball. We are tied at 7. So the Colts trying to do a little something here. You go back to the fact that they're 1-4 on the year, winning 3-0 in their opener against West York. Their last 3 matches, they've fallen 3-1, so it's not beyond the Colts to take at least one in competition. The attack and the kill, Stockbauer, it falls in for a Wildcat point. Serving for Mechanicsburg will be Sam Krusegi, a senior, 5'10", listed as an outside hitter. Jump serve, played in the back row by the Colts and Nassar Mozil. tipped over the net, and that's a point. A nice job by Cedar Cliff and Evan Potvin picking up that point. So Potvin ties this one at 8. And serving for the Colts is Parker Livingston, I believe his 3rd time serving today. Livingston with the serve. Played by McDonald. Set up by Foos. The attack on the near side by Stockbauer, kept alive. Livingston tipped over by Mozille. McDonald sets it. The attack for the Cats and Stockbauer, and we have a whistle at the net. And it's going to be another point for the Colts, and I believe this is the first time Cedar Cliff has led today. 9-8, the Colts are up 1. Parker Livingston serves, but a point for the Cats. It's like the reverse of an ace. Negative ace. 9-9 the score. Probably has a more official softball term, but again, that goes back to better broadcasters and things like that. Livingston tips it. Can't keep it on the Cedar Cliff side, although nicely played by the guy in the green vest. Good job, green vest guy. Probably tough to see him from this camera angle, but he's got a big smile on his face now. It's like going home with a foul ball at a baseball game. That's going to be a service ace. And another point for the Cats. So they were down 9-8. Now all of a sudden it's 11-9. And McDonald will serve. Livingston sets it up. The attack on the near side by Dustin Stewart. It goes long. Point Cats, picked up by security in the back of the gym. (12-9). McDonald into the net. Couple of substitutions for Cedar Cliff. Checking in, Anthony Grob and also Curtis Olson. The officials at the scorer's table have recognized those subs. Serve, played by McDonald. Tipped at the net by Ryan Foos. Looks like he may have gotten into the net, so it's going to be a point for the Colts. The Wildcat Foundation accepting scholarship applications right now to be awarded to students in the district. Seniors are eligible for this great award. The foundation administers scholarships which total about $43,000. 5 scholarships on the line. As another whistle will give the points to the Colts. The deadline for applications coming up April 9th. Scholarship winners will be announced at the District Senior Awards Ceremony in May. For information, visit wildcatfoundation.org. Ayalo, and that one goes wide, and the Colts go back up by 1. So Cedar Cliff will serve, leading by 1 here in set number 2, trailing 1-0 though. Set up by Foos, and the attack by Dean Holbrook. Makes contact with Dustin Stewart, but it drops in front of Stewart. 13-13. Livingston, Stewart, and it is long for another Wildcat point. (14-13), the Cats back on top. Stockbauer. Bennett McNair, the attack from Anthony Grob, played by McDonald. Ayalo shuffles it over. Livingston with the set, the attack, Grob, and it drops for a Cedar Cliff point. Substitution for the Colts, Anderson Christie checks in. The set from Foos, the attack and the kill, Dean Holbrook. The Cats made it look simple on that play. Little middle school soccer action tomorrow. If you're looking for something to do, the Mechanicsburg girls travel to Cumberland Valley. I'll be there, cheering on my favorite middle school Wildcat. Livingston to Anderson Christie, who pushes it over. Cats with the attack at the net, and Sam Krusegi earns the point. Big shout out to Coach Morisani's squad, 1-1 on the year. They defeated Chambersburg in their opener 2-0, and then fell to Palmyra last week 2-1. Ball kept alive, set up by Foose, and that attack with some English on it from Krusegi. And that attack and kill, I believe that was Holbrook up front, just put a Colt on its backside. You've heard of rearing a Colt. That was a Colt on his rear. The attack attempt by Anderson Christie draws a whistle. And it's been a little while since I've done these volleyball matches, but I've seen kids take spikes to the face. I've seen them knocked down. Crazy, right? Like the ferocity of some of these attacks. I would not want to be standing in the way. These young men are bringing it. We're going to take a break, come back. It's 1814 Mechanicsburg on GoMechanicsburg.com.
Getting you back to Mechanicsburg Wildcat Athletics. Presented by 11 Oaks Farms in Newville on GoMechanicsburg.com.
Back at the high school gym following the Cedar Cliff timeout. Mike Garland hanging out in the Members First Federal Credit Union broadcast booth. Today's broadcast presented by 11 Oaks Farms in Newville. We thank our great partners, all of them who support our broadcast, and encourage you to do the same. The attack is played by the Cats and Stockbauer. And that attack by the Cats and Sam Krusegi is blocked up front, but the ball will go out of bounds. So it's going to be Mechanicsburg possession, Mechanicsburg point, and now leading by 5, 19-14. And the one thing I say to all of our viewers during these streams is that these are local or regionally local companies who support what we do here in the district, and I encourage you to support them in turn. Krusegi tries to attack it over, but there was some net contact. It looks like it's going to be a Cedar Cliff point and possession, so 19-15. And, you know, I'd love if you visit any one of these businesses to tell them that you heard about it on GoMechanicsburg.com. You know, you don't have to, but at least visit them. Check out what they offer. Kept alive by Bennett McNair. Tipped into the net, unfortunately, by Anthony Grob. So a point for the Cats, now 20-15. Boys lacrosse playing over at the stadium. That game should be winding towards an end. Set up by Colton Ruby. The attack from Anthony Grob. And it's going to drop for a Colt point. Debating on what to do for food tonight. And I'd ask you for input, but it's clearly a one-way conversation. I'm thinking pizza. I'm thinking a trip to Snappers. I'm thinking a trip to Wolf Brewing Company or Chick-fil-A, the official food provider of the Go Mechanicsburg press box during football season. That ball will fall in for a Wildcat point. I mean, ultimately, I've got good options. Staying home is the cheapest path, but we've got a lot of great options here in the Berg. The serve for the Cats is attacked over by Anderson Christie, kept alive, and Christie drops it in for a Cedar Cliff point. A nice job by Anderson Christie. Got it back over the net, and it fell right in front of Ryan Foose. And I know you're sitting at home at your TV or your computer yelling at me, you should go to Chick-fil-A, you should. You know what? I'll do what I can do. I appreciate your feedback, though. Thanks for your help. Foose sets it up. Tipped over the net for the Cats, and Krusegi, played by Colton Ruby, back across on the Wildcat side. Foose with the set, the attack, and the kill for the Cats. Sam Krusegi from the right side of the offensive zone. 22-17. Cats 3 points away from wrapping up set number 2. Played up front by Colton Ruby, tipped over the net, kept alive. McDonald with the set. The attack, Ayalo, and kind of fouled it off more than attacked it over. So that's going to be a point for the Colts. Set 3 right around the corner. If the Cats can hold on, set 3 might be the final set here of the night. Closing in on 7 o'clock on the East Coast. 6 o'clock if you happen to be watching in Nova Scotia. Or is it the other way around? Is it 8 o'clock in Nova Scotia? It's 8 o'clock in Nova Scotia. 23-18 as that point goes the way of the Cats. That's right. The time goes forward as you go east. It goes back as you go west. So it's been a long time since I had to think about geography. Tipped over the net and played by Dustin Stewart. McDonald shuffles it over, but there's a whistle, and not sure he likes that call. (23-19). Couple of substitutions for Cedar Cliff. Checking in for the Colts, Anthony Grob. Also Curtis Olson, and Olson will serve for head coach Matt Hubel. So Olson readies. Couple of dribbles. Repositions himself for this serve. And here it comes. Played in the back row by Ayalo. Set up for the Cats by Foose. And the attack on the far side by Holbrook ultimately finds its way out of bounds. Dean Holbrook was the last to touch it for the Cats, so he's responsible for that kill. Little jump shot back to the baseline, and its teammate Luke Stockbauer. And Cedar Cliff calls another timeout. 24-19 is the score, so we'll take a break, both from the match and from me. Back after this on GoMechanicsburg.com.
Snappers Bar and Grill at 120 East Allen Street in Mechanicsburg is proud to support Wildcat Athletics. Snappers is open Monday through Saturday from 11 a.m. until 9 p.m. and offers outstanding service and exceptional food and drink options, all at a fair price. Stop in for fresh seafood, delicious hand-cut steaks, and homemade pasta dishes. Snappers also offers a variety of sandwiches, fresh, crisp salads, and awesome appetizers. Dine in, carry out, or have your next big gathering catered. Snappers Bar and Grill. Call 717-697-9475 to learn more.
Getting you back to Mechanicsburg Wildcat Athletics. Presented by 11 Oaks Farms in Newville on GoMechanicsburg.com.
Hey, welcome back. I hit the wrong button. So that serve went out of bounds. Excuse me, that serve, there was contact from Cedar Cliff. It goes out of bounds. So I think that's it. Set 2 is done, and we missed the point. So my apologies for that. 25-19 the final. And as if we haven't heard enough commercials, we're going to take a break and come back in, 2 minutes or so as we head to set 3. Mechanicsburg has won 2 in a row, 25-14, 25-19. We'll be back after this on GoMechanicsburg.com.
The State Farm Personal Price Plan helps you create an affordable price just for you.
Contact local agent Seth Gardner for your personal price plan today.
This is you. And this is us. Hi, we're True Green. We're the official lawn care treatment provider of the PGA Tour. That means we'll give you a pro-level lawn guaranteed. That's a satisfaction guarantee. That's a price match guarantee. That's a guarantee on top of your guarantee. So you can do less of this and more of this.
A Deck, where memories are made, barbecues are grilled, and sunsets are savored. But let's face it, not all decks are created equal. Enter Westshire Decks. We're not your average deck builders. Precision is our mantra. We don't just build decks, we craft outdoor living spaces tailored to your dreams. With Westshire Decks, you get seasoned experts who know decks inside and out. So why settle for a deck that's just okay when you can have one that's extraordinary? Westshire Decks, where craftsmanship meets creativity. Give us a call today and come see how we are different.
Getting you back to Mechanicsburg Wildcat Athletics. Presented by 11 Oaks Farms in Newville on GoMechanicsburg.com.
Welcome back to the Members First Federal Credit Union broadcast booth. We're getting ready to head to set number 3. Still about a minute on that in-between period clock. Mechanicsburg's ready to roll. They're back out on the hardwood. Cedar Cliff still talking things out amongst themselves and with their coaching staff. Let's look at the upcoming schedule for the Colts. Coming up on the 3rd, which should be Thursday if the calendar works the same way for everyone. They're home against Lower Dauphin. Then at least a quartet of road games on the 7th at Carlisle, on the 8th at Hershey. On the 10th, it's a non-conference affair at Millersburg, heading up the river to play some volleyball. And then on the 15th, it's Redland a second time around. On the 17th, they're back home versus Palmyra. And for the Mechanicsburg Wildcats, following this contest, they too will be playing on Thursday. This time it's home against Hershey. Then on the 8th, Redland. The 10th, home against Northern as some elements of conference play start to cycle back through. On the 14th, they head to the shadows of the Paper Mills in Spring Grove to take on the Spring Grove Rockets. And if you've ever been to Spring Grove, it's not just the shadows of the paper mill, it's the scent of the paper mill. Like here in Mechanicsburg, I think we're generally used to the smells of the Purina dog factory. So like take that smell of dog food and replace it with paper pulp. I will take the dog food any day of the week. Just depends on which way the wind blows. It's a beautiful town, though, otherwise. And Cedar Cliff will serve to start set number 3. Beautiful high school at Spring Grove as well. Anderson Christie draws the first point of set number 3 for the Cedar Cliff Colts. Had a chance to go down to Spring Grove maybe a year or two ago as the boys and girls basketball teams had a doubleheader down there. So it was really cool to see what looks like a fairly new facility down there at Spring Grove and driving into the town, the industrial nature of it. It's a real cool town. Just, some byproduct of paper manufacturing. Another point for the Colts following the ace. And Parker Livingston will serve one more time. Livingston, the jump serve, played by McDonald, set up by Foose. The attack for the Cats and Dean Holbrook, and it's going to drop in for a Wildcat point. 2-1 the score. So the Cats looking to finish this one up. And also, in case you were wondering, what I do for dinner is directly related to when I leave the gym. Because it'll be super easy to roll through the drive-thru at Chick-fil-A if I'm still here in 45 minutes. That's served by the Cats. It's going to be played by Livingston up front. And a block at the net. Dean Holbrook slams it back down. Evan Potvin went with the attack, and Holbrook, all 6'5" of him, he got enough of that ball to drop it down on the Colts side of the net. 2-2, tied up, set number 3. And the right-handed off-balance attack from Anderson Christie back onto the Mechanicsburg side. Now it's Bennett McNair. The attack from Brumbach drops in, and a point for Cedar Cliff. So Jacob Brumbach with the point for the Colts, and a substitution forthcoming as Curtis Olson will sub in, and subbing out is Anderson Christie. Serving for the Colts, Curtis Olson. McDonald. And the attack for the Cats and Dean Holbrook back on the Mechanicsburg side. One-handed smack by Stockbauer. Livingston. And the ball tipped at the net. And diving in to try to play it for the Cats was Luke Stockbauer. Couldn't get there. And another point for the Colts, 4-2 the score. So Cedar Cliff has a little something going here in set number 3, trailing 2-0. And the floor official checking in with the scorer's table to make sure the player rotation is where it needs to be. Olsen readies. A couple of short dribbles, bends at the knees, and the near flat-footed serve. Played in the back row by Stockbauer. The attack forthcoming from Holbrook over the net. Dug in the back row by Nazar Mozil. Set up for the Cats by Foose, but over the net. And a tap down and point, Dean Holbrook. You know, those aggressive ones, the big spikes and the kills, they look really awesome. But at the end of the day, a simple tip like that gets the same kind of job done. Mason Stump was in for a minute on that previous series for the Cats. Want to say his name, recognize his efforts as he heads back towards the bench. And serving for the Cats is Will Lombardo. Lombardo, back row, digs it. The attack up front for the Cats, and Dean Holbrook is blocked. For Cedar Cliff, that was Evan Potvin that got a hand on it. So Jake Heck giving some parts of his bench some additional playing time here in set number 3, up 2-0. So Potvin serves, dug by Krasegi. And that one definitely in for a point. That's Dean Holbrook. He has a handful of points today for the Wildcats. I want to thank Josh Brown and our GoMechanicsburg.com live stream crew. He is pushing the buttons, helping keep score for us tonight. Livingston. And the left-handed attack goes just long. And the official, I believe, scores it a Cedar Cliff point. He does indeed. It was close. It was near the line, and you have student volunteers helping serve as officials. The left-handed serve for the Colts kept alive. Xavier Santos was serving. Now it's set up by Foose. That one, they're going to say was long, but I would argue that might have landed in, and we'll see. We've got replay here on GoMechanicsburg.com. We'll take a look one more time. Nope, it was just a little bit long. And we'll come back to live action here in just a moment. Set up by Krasegi, pushed over the net, played by Santos. Now over the net. Cats keep it alive. Lombardo. Tipped, and a point for the Cats. Nice job by Krasegi. Cats will serve, trailing by 2, 5-7, or 7-5 as it were. Santos sets it up. Livingston with the attack. McDonald keeps it alive. Krasegi with the attack and the kill. Bennett McNair buckled at the knees. And McNair just sort of smiles it off, shakes it off. Cats down by 1. Ryan Foose. And a play at the net. We have a point for the Cedar Cliff Colts. That looked to be Anthony Grob. Check that. Nazir Mozil with the point. Nazar Mozil. And Mozil will serve. Played in the back row by Lombardo. Far side Stockbauer with the attack. Nazar in the back row. And a whistle. And a point for the Cats. Makes it 8-7. Checking in for Mechanicsburg is Mason Stump. Serving for the Cats, Sam Krasegi. And it's going to be long. Another point for Cedar Cliff. 9-7 the score, Colts. Bennett McNair, who's been on the unfortunate receiving end of a couple of Wildcat kills, will serve. And that attack and kill gives the Cats another point. Sam Steele flexing his maroon and steel. Substitution for the Cats, Dean Holbrook. (9-8). Nate McDonald, 6'2" senior, serving. Bennett McNair keeps it alive. Pushed over the net by Anderson Christie. And that attack and kill by Dean Holbrook ties this one at 9. 9-9, McDonald. Standing back row, getting ready. Jump serve. And an ace. (10-9), Cats with their first lead in quite some time here in set number 3, and another ace for McDonald. McDonald readies. 11-9, Cats now up 2. Jump serve. Played up front by Santos. McDonald kept that one alive, and it goes over the net. McNair. And an attack and a kill, Parker Livingston. It was a nice job by the Colts to keep it alive. And a substitution forthcoming. Jacob Brumbach in. And out is Xavier Santos, much to the joy of his teammates. And I don't think that they're happy he's out. I just think they're happy for him. Set up by Foose. The attack and the kill, Dean Holbrook. Holbrook makes it look simple. As the Cats rotate their way around the front line, Holbrook will now be in the middle. And Luke Stockbauer will serve. Stockbauer serves it over. Livingston keeps it alive. McDonald with the dig, keeps it alive for the Cats. And that one will drop in. Point Cats. And it looks like that might be dig number 500. So Nathan McDonald with dig 500 brings the fans to their feet. And he goes over to celebrate with his team. And the Cats call a timeout to work in some congratulations as well. We'll keep it right here for just a moment and then step out as part of this timeout as McDonald salutes the fans. High fives from his teammates all around. 13-10 Cats, back in a quick moment on GoMechanicsburg.com.
Wolf Brewing Company in Mechanicsburg, established in 2021 as a family and pet-friendly social experience, offers food and drink options for the community from the community. Family owned by Wildcat graduates, Wolf Brewing Company is just off South Market Street in the all-new Legacy Park. Stop in before, during, or after the game for food crafted from the freshest local ingredients, plus many award-winning drinks made on site. Wolf Brewing Company, 100 Legacy Park Drive, Suite 400, online at wolfbrewingco.com or call 717-590-7917.
We came back before the timeout window concluded, so we'll get you back to the action even faster. The attack by Cedar Cliff at the net is going to be a point for the Cats. A nice job up front by Jacob Brumbach trying to keep it in play, but couldn't. And it's 14-10 as Mechanicsburg extends the lead to 4. Livingston up front. The attack and the kill from the far right side. That was Anderson Christie. So Christie gets the point, now subs out, and Curtis Olson will come in. Serving for Cedar Cliff will be Olson. And the serve, just long. Point Cats. 15-11. And a substitution coming. Checking in for Mechanicsburg, Logan Mason. If you haven't been to the high school lately, the back of the gym, the area that just recently got remodeled. There's some really nice branding there now. You can check it out. It's a nice grand entrance. It says, "Welcome to Mechanicsburg, home of the Wildcats." We'll try to get some footage of it and show it to you at some point, but a real nice look as you come into the back side of the gym here off the main parking lot near the Wildcat Activity Center. Parker Livingston sets it up, and the attack at the net by Nazar Mozil kept alive. And Mozil tries to attack it over again, does so. McDonald with the dig. And that attack on the far side by Sam Krusegi goes long. It's going to be a point for the Colts. And 16-12 is your score. Next Go Mechanicsburg web stream will be next week. Softball versus Mifflin County. The left-handed smack by Holbrook over the net. Livingston keeps it alive. Zeal. And the attack on the far side. Krusegi brings it across court for the point. So as if listening to me talk for an hour plus for volleyball wasn't exciting enough for you, just think about listening to me talk for 2+ hours for softball. I'll be there for you when you're ready. 17-12 the score. Holbrook with the ace. Cats working their way towards a 3-set sweep of the Colts. And if Mechanicsburg can do it, it will be their third 3-set win of the year, or their third sweep of the year, I should say. The jump serve by Holbrook, played in the back row, kept alive by Mozil over the net. Holbrook, couple of touches, popped in the air by Logan Mason over the net. Livingston, the attack off the arms of Nazar Mozil, kept alive. Holbrook, the attack and the kill at the net, Sam Krusegi. So it's 19-12 on the attack and the kill. And a whistle, timeout from Cedar Cliff. With that timeout, we'll step out as well. Today's game presented by 11 Oaks Farms in Newville on GoMechanicsburg.com.
Are you on the hunt for a new home? Maybe you're a growing family looking to expand your living situation, or you find your current space too large and you're simply looking to downsize. Whatever your needs, contact Charity Kastner, Realtor with RSR Realtors today. Charity knows the local real estate market, and she will find the right home for you. Charity Kastner isn't just a Mechanicsburg-based realtor, she's a Mechanicsburg mom. And after all, mother knows best. Just ask her kids. Make the move today by calling Charity Kastner at 717-557-9312 or rsrrealtors.com to find your first or next home sweet home.
Following the timeout, the Cats will serve, and it's kept alive by the Colts in the back row, pushed over the net by Nazar Mozil, but a whistle and another Wildcat point. 20-12 the score. The Cats 5 away from ending this one and picking up win number 4 on the year, keeping their undefeated streak alive as well. Mozil punches it over, played by Holbrook. Set up for the Cats by Foose. The attack from the back row from Logan Mason. It goes long. Santos checking in for the Colts, as is Dustin Stewart. 20-13. Santos will serve. He's got an opportunity to pick up a point for the Colts. He readies after some instruction from head coach Matt Hubel. And the jump serve from the lefty, kept alive by McDonald, into the net. Now it's going to be tapped over by a handful of Cats, but met at the net by Ian Semke. And Semke, seeing some playing time here in set 3, picks up that point for the Cedar Cliff Colts. Short bus ride back to New Cumberland from here. For the Colts, Santos serves. Played by Mason. The attack and the kill by Sam Krusegi. Cats 4 points away from wrapping this one up. Another substitution forthcoming. Nikolai Bobkovsky checking in. And the serve, Santos, punched over the net by Dustin Stewart. Bobkovsky, Santos, and that attack attempt into the net by Ian Semke gives the Cats another point. Check that was not Semke. Instead, that was Nazar Mozil. 22-14. Santos sets it up. Mozil tries again. Played in the back row by the Cats and punched over by Lombardo. That one's going to go long. Point Cats. Ian Semke that time around tried to drop it in near the back line, but couldn't get it done. 23-14. Santos sets it up. Dustin Stewart gets it over the net, kept alive, set up for the Cats, and Foose, the attack, played by Bobatsky. Foose. And it's going to drop on the Wildcats side, point Colts. Check that, point Wildcats. So that makes it 24-14. And the Cats playing to win. Foose played in the back row by McNair. Set up into the net, it makes it over. Cats keep it alive, Foose sets it up. The attack by the Cats, by Stockbauer. We have a whistle, and the call goes against the Colts. Wildcats net point 25 and a 3-set sweep. So the Cats win 25-14, 25-19, and 25-14, improving to 4-0 on the season. Cedar Cliff falls to 1-5 overall. They're 0-4 in Mid-Penn Keystone. And a big congratulations to Nate McDonald, topping the 500 dig mark tonight at the gym. Head coach Jake Heck will pop on the mic here momentarily to recognize Nate McDonald. I want to thank Josh Brown for helping out on the score interface today. So McDonald with the accomplishment. We'll keep it right here for just a few moments as we start to wind down the broadcast. Try to turn up our microphone as well so we can hear what Coach Heck has to say.
Nate McDonald for his 500 dig here at the end of the court. Thanks for coming out to tonight's game.
So Coach Heck just reminding everybody to recognize him. There's going to be some signs, some photos, some congratulations and adulations from friends and teammates. And that's going to do it for us here at the gym. The final, Mechanicsburg sweep Cedar Cliff 3-0. Until next time, Wildcat fans, have a good night.
This has been a presentation of Mechanicsburg High School Wildcat Athletics, presented by 11 Oaks Farms in Newville on GoMechanicsburg.com. Wildcat Athletics is presented by 11 Oaks Farms in Newville, Bobby Ray Hall Automotive Group, Charity Kastner RSR Realtors, your neighborhood Chick-fil-A at Shepherdstown Crossing, Lawnscapes Inc., Members First Federal Credit Union, Operation Wildcat, OSS Health, now with 2 locations on the West Shore, Mechanicsburg Area Recreation Department, RBC Wealth Management and the Turnbridge Group, Renewed Hearing Solutions, Sheets, Snappers Bar and Grill, Seth Gardner State Farm, your Harrisburg True Green Lawn Care, Westshire Decks, servicing all of Central PA, the Wildcat Foundation, and Wolf Brewing Company. The Mechanicsburg Wildcats. Presented by 11 Oaks Farms in Newville on GoMechanicsburg.com and on YouTube at GoMechanicsburg. We'll see you again next time.